Welcome to the channel, Farming with Nick. Today we are on Alma, Missouri, and we are going to do a farm build from scratch. I am north of town. I am on field 24. So we are going to buy that for our farm build. Alright, so first I'm going to come in here. I'm going to use this drive that comes right off that goes into the field. I think that's pretty good. And the first thing I'm going to do for my build is go up and actually level as much of it as we can. Hopefully it doesn't take too long here. Kind of level it maybe to there. So I have not built this farm before. I'm building it in real time with you, and I am on console building this. So we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully good. If there's some mistakes, imperfections, that's okay. We'll leave it. So if you are building from scratch, I saw other people and I've been watching their methods, and I just kind of wanted to share what I would do if I was going to build something completely from scratch here. And being on console, I wanted to build something that would be closer to the store. That way I'm not having to drive all the way out there and back all the time. Now, I am actually playing on this map on the main farm, and it does take a while to get equipment all the way to the farm and then come back. And that's okay. Alright, so I'm just going to continue leveling all this real quick, and I'll bring you back when I'm done with all that. Alright, I just finished with leveling everything here. I think I'll have enough room for my build. Kind of pushed it way out to the back here of this field. And my next thing that I would do would actually go into landscaping, and I would say for painting, I would put grass down. Now this is a lot of grass, but I would do this before I put the meadow grass down. And before I actually do this, I'm going to do something just to kind of mark where I want things. I'm going to go up to buildings, farmhouses. Let's add a farmhouse. Let's do this one, and I'm going to pretend it's coming right off of the drive here on the road, and I'm going to use this grass that's here as kind of my point. There, that'll work. And then I already know I have a bigger cow barn as well. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to pretend it comes behind here off of the house. And I'll kind of just rotate this here. Yeah, let's see. I know the leveling might have to be fixed in the end, but that's okay. Just kind of getting it down. There we go. See how that looks? Very good. Next, I'll go in and I'll add the grass landscape, or painting tool, excuse me. That way I do not have to go back through later on and add all the landscaping after. So like I said, I kind of just use those 2 points that are already on the field. Just thought, oh, might as well use them while they're there. So now everything that was flattened out, I'm just going to paint up here. Alright, so I'll bring you back once I get all of that painted up. Alright, we just finished our landscaping tool with painting grass. Now I'm actually going to go through and use plants, and I'm going to plant all meadow grass down before I even start to build. This way it's much easier when you get to the end and you don't have to go through, add little grass patches and everything and whatnot. I think it's much easier. That's just my opinion too. Others have their own way, but this is just how I kind of do my build, so you guys could just see what I would do and take what you want and leave what you don't, kind of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all this grass down, and then once that is done, I'll bring you back for everything, and we'll start adding buildings. Okay, we just finished putting in all that meadow grass around our farm build here, and I could have just leveled that and done that on my own without actually showing you. However, I just wanted you to kind of see, if you're new to this, building on your own without anything, just I don't want that shed. You can just kind of see the process that I would have went through. Level it out, and then I would go ahead and use the painting tool. Then I would go ahead and use the meadow grass, like I said. So first, let's add a pole barn, and let's put it right here off of the road. I really like this one. This is the one that comes with the starting farm. Yeah, so you drive in off of there, and it's right there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, and then pretend we're coming off this drive, and let's go ahead, go right over to silos, and let's add some silos. Store our grain, feed for our cattle. And like I said, I'm on council, so everything's available for all platforms. And we got our silo here. There we go. And let's add a fermenting one as well. For those of you that like doing that with your silage, let's add it right next to it. There we go. So you're kind of coming off this main drive. You can hop over there. Let's add an extension. Let's keep 3 silos together then. That one's too large. So yeah, let's do this one. So when objects overlap, console players, you just press Y. It'll add it in there for you. That looks pretty good. Let's keep going. We're right here in the middle. Let's add some container stuff. Add a fuel. Right there. Let's go over. Wrong way. There it is. Add some tanks. Add a couple. Add another fertilizer tank if you had some herbicide, something else in there. And none of these have to be like choose straight on, or exactly perfect either. Just kind of place them where you feel like. And this is the workshop one. This is one of my favorites. I'm actually going to add this over here. There. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's go back to the cattle. And let's go through. This is a lizard cow shed, animal husbandry mod. Take off and then, let's see, change color. It's a darker red. There we go. It'll kind of match the other one best it can. Let's place this kind of tight, so pretend if you had to take, you know, cattle to and from, you could. Looks good. And I know there's a smaller one that actually goes with this by the same modder. And let's change color. There. I'll put this one actually on the back side. Good. Alright, let's go back up to buildings. We're going to need some more storage. And we'll use this one. So in the red barn pack, then you had some bales. Kind of place it here. Should kind of come around. That'll work. And let's add another shed. We have some more machines. This one's a great mod. Let's keep this one a little closer. There. That'll work. And there's another, it's a red shed. That I want to use. Is it this one? No, even though this one would work. Just think of a smaller one. I don't know if it's... Oh, there it is. Yep. So my eye did see it. 10. Kind of coming off of here. Add another shed. About like right there. And then we also need a garage or pole barn. And let's use this one. I like this one a lot. And let's change the color. There's a red on here. There we go. And we'll have it kind of just come off the main drive. That'll work. Yeah, good. And let's go to animals. We're not done with adding for our animals, actually. Let's pretend this comes right off of the barn. Gonna add a pasture out here for our cattle, so they'd be out in front. We could put them out there sometimes. And I kind of cleared a extra large space in the back. Every time we had cattle, you could put them back here as well. And yeah, it should be enough for them to get through. Okay. Well, there we go. There's our basic setup. Now let's go back and into landscaping, and let's add our drives and everything, our road. So you come off of this, you could come right up here to the barn. And then we're actually going to swing way out. Here's our opening drive. Come up to the house. To there. And this would be if you're driving straight in. There, that works. And then in here, this goes to the other side of the barn. And now you can kind of see why, and I've seen other creators do this when they're building. You can leave some of those little grass swatches, and it looks nice. But I've seen them actually, you paint the grass first, and then second you come back through and you put your meadow grass on, and then it's all there. It's really kind of convenient and nice. Then you don't have to worry about it and adding it later. It gives it a nice touch. There we go. And this would come through here. So my kind of initial thought and idea with this was just obviously to show others this is what I do, and to also kind of see like, alright, well, if you had cattle set up, alright, you'd have some barns, maybe take them through different parts, right? And then I think we could come around here. I would, yeah. If you're gonna make a drive, make like a turnaround, and then you probably swing back around here. But to show you'd have some cattle in some barns, maybe if you had the space, and some farms don't, but if you had the space, you would be able to put them out onto pasture, or keep them out there if you wanted to. Or you could rotate them around as well. There we go. And let's drive around our barn. Go this way. There we go. And we have our smaller little barn right there. That looks really good. I'm going to come back around. And this comes up by our bale storage. There we go. Then there's some room back here, obviously, to park some implements, tractors, other machinery, semis, trailers. All right. So next, and sorry about the little bit of lag there. Next, I'm going to go, and if I had more time, yeah, I would actually, put some dirt on those parts, kind of make it more realistic when you're coming in and out of the pens. But let's go up to landscaping, and I'm actually going to put in, before we get our fences up, I'm just going to put in some ponds actually, and kind of put one back here, pretend it would potentially go into the woods, come out of there. So I just take the sculpting down, and then I'm pretty sure it's in decoration, the rivers and ponds pack. There it is. Got one right there. Let's add another right there. And then while we're here, let's just jump over to our fencing. And just for time, I'm actually not going to add any gates. But if I had more time, I would add gates, obviously. Kind of get in and out of our pastures with vehicles. And just bring this back up. And then we'll add some fencing back here. And on these mods, you probably already know you can take off the corners of those posts so you don't actually have to see them. There we go. And let's go back up to the front, and we're just going to add a quick little opening fence to our farm. Just a little entranceway, that's all. Nothing too much. This would be an expensive fence. There we go. And now let's go back into, and I'm not going to add any fencing in here in the farm. You could. That's completely fine. Let's go back into landscaping. Let's add some plants and let's add some rocks in here as well. So here's probably Some of the big rocks probably got out of the field one day. Just put over here. And they've stayed here ever since. Put some by our pond. And kind of rotate the rocks if you like. You don't need to. Kind of go back to this pond. Same thing. Add some rocks. And even around the pond, you could add some, like, dirt, other little details. Make it look even more realistic. There we go. Good. Let's go back. Just add some flowers, not a whole lot. And you could obviously add a lot of bushes. Kind of putting it next to the buildings makes it look much more realistic as well. This middle part would have some. There we go. And let's go into trees. I'm a big fan of the shagbarks in the game. I think they look really nice. And you can rotate these as well. Kind of space these out. Yeah, and these are just some of the little finer things that I'm adding. You could just really make it what you want and be creative. Just kind of let your imagination go. That's one of the great things about the farm builds. They're really up to you. Got some oaks here. A little bit of a tree line there. I like keeping it open so you can see the house, but you can close it up too if you want. Have it more secluded. And there we go. So some extra things I'll kind of just tell you, like you can see that extra dirt here. You could add that. You could add your smaller shrubs. You could add more decorations, put a flagpole out. You could put in more decorations even back here. Little playground, fort area. You could add other animal pens. Up to you, really. So here is our farm. I think I have my vehicle over here. I do. Kind of drive around it real quick, and then we'll do a quick aerial view. So I'm up here at I think it's a ketchup factory across this field. So I'll drive in to our farm. There's our first barn that you can go up to. Drive up to the house. You can keep going. You can go to our silos or fermenter. Off to the right, have more workshops, storage. And then we have our tanks here for fertilizers. Another workshop here on the right. And then we have a bale storage on the left. Then we'll go around this back part. We have our cattle pasture back there. And then in here, one of our barns. And then right across is our main barn there. And then you have a smaller barn that you could keep your calves. Then we'll go around. And there's our our front pasture, excuse me. And another storage shed where you can put some equipment. And then comes back up and loops around. And there we go. You can see it again, how I have it laid out. Kind of our drive that we did around. Back pasture there for our cattle. Main cattle barns, extra storage. And then our side pen there. Alright, well that'll do it. So thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this farm build on Alma, Missouri. Thank you again.